Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the
Ugh.
Garbage Mice podcast. So today we actually have a very special episode. You know, we
Yes.
normally do drinking episodes every once in a while, but today we have the hard drug episode. Artillery,
What?
are you ready?
Wait, what do you mean hard? I didn't tell me anything about this.
Oh,
Uh,
I didn't need to.
dude.
I slipped a little thing in your drink. So you should be all good to go.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
I can't
I
really
can't
say.
breathe.
Oh no, Artillery, you can't breathe? Just don't go to the corner store anytime soon. We can't lose you, man. Okay, I think he died. Oh, finally. I was waiting for him to croak. Okay, now I can just take over this podcast and talk about crypto. Wait,
Can't breathe.
5 minutes later.
I think my acting was very convincing. What do you think?
yeah, you sound like you have some personal experience there. You sound like you were method acting.
Hey, what can I say, man? All I say, I've been there, done that. I've seen it. I sees it, right? I sees it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what do we got in terms of topics for today? I feel like today is a very special day, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it a special day? Are you feeling special?
Yeah, kind of. I feel lovely and fine and beautiful. I feel all the good things in the world, possibly because of the speedball you just slipped me. Yeah. So.
Oh no, that I didn't actually slip you a speedball. You're in a completely different country. That must be, I don't know. That must be
Oh
the
no
feds.
no! I actually went down to Hastings Street just 5 minutes ago. I was right there. There was a dealer there, and I told him, "Hey, I don't roll that way." So he just took out a syringe and just stabbed me. And I just remember waking up here. I don't know what happened afterwards. Yeah. So,
Man, that's some MK Ultra type shit.
but speaking of which, an 11-year-old boy just got stabbed the other day.
Wow, that's a great segue. A real uplifting topic you got planned for us today.
So no. Listen to this. Okay, this is
Okay, what's going on?
some of the most doomer and hilarious shit you'll ever see. So this kid was walking down the street, and he called someone an NPC, and that person slit his throat.
Wow.
Just like that.
Where was this in like the third world?
No,
Where did
right
this
here
happen?
in Vancouver. Right here in Vancouver. You know,
Oh,
this
was
is
it?
how we.
Was
This
it
is how we
you?
roll nowadays. No, fuck no, it wasn't me.
He called you the Travis Bickle NPC Wojak, and that just really set you off.
He called me the wrong N word, and that really like no, motherfucker, I'm based. Here, let me show you how based I am. And then I just stabbed.
Oh man,
Lord have mercy. That's awful. Like, this is what we were talking about for the last couple of weeks, like how awful things are and how everybody nowadays just seems a lot more on edge. I think it's got a lot to do with drugs. I think that's the worst part about it. Just how many fucking drugs there are. Everybody's fucking taking.
yeah, everyone's all like cracked out on caffeine, including me right now.
Dude, don't get me started on caffeine. I went to this Chinese like restaurant, and every time, instead of water, they give you green tea. And I would just slurp on that shit because I'm a caffeine addict.
So you're just
they
taking
would
like
just keep
300
pouring.
milligrams.
And they keep pouring green tea. Like, by the end of it, I just drank 6 cups of green tea before I came to the recording. Dude, my head feels like it's about to explode. I have absorbed all the information written down on the Bible.
Oh man,
I've downloaded it all into my brain.
I don't know if this is like unique to me or if this is something that everyone experiences, but if I ever drink a coffee or a tea right before going to bed, I always just have like the strangest dreams. Like I had a dream the other day where I was exiting a grocery store, and I put all my stuff in my trunk of my car, and then I got in my car and I started it, but I realized I forgot to close the trunk. So I'm like, okay, I don't need to turn the engine off. I'll just step out, close the trunk. But after I step out, my car just drives away by itself. and I run after it. I'm like, oh no, my car. And
Oh no, my car.
and I chase after it through the streets of California, and it becomes this like Lord of the Rings type adventure where I'm like running through a misty forest after my car, and it's just driving away. And there was even one point where we were driving through, or it was driving through a cornfield, and I was chasing it. And it was like, it looked like the farm from The Walking Dead. It was like that type of scene. The sky was all dark. It was crazy. I woke up wondering if I really just took caffeine before bed and not something else.
Interesting. Now, what more of these dreams do you usually have?
I had a dream one time where I bought a house, and it was like a mansion that was very, very old. So I think I bought it for $10,000, and it looked like it was a $10,000 house. Like it looked like I didn't even get that crazy of a deal. And I remember it was like a multi-story house, but I was afraid to go up to the second floor or the third floor.
The Californian's wildest dream: buying a house for $10,000.
Yeah. And then I remember I didn't have like a heater, so I just like made a fire in the middle of the house, and then I scorched a big chunk of my house because the fire got out of control.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of dreams,
Hmm.
I was sleeping yesterday, and my cousin calls me at 4 a.m. My cousin lives in Europe. Calls me, is like, "Yo, want to play Counter-Strike? We got like 4 people, 2 silvers and 1 gold nova, and me." And I'm sleeping like, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, looks like I woke you up. Good night." So this morning I just woke up and told him, "I had the weirdest dream today, cousin. You called me, and you were talking about silver and gold and an adventure." I'm just waiting for him to reply like, "No, dude, that was real." But yesterday, me and my friends, we went to one of our houses, and we just made burgers and shit. Look, you know what the ideal male bonding experience is?
Just
It's
grilling
making burgers. It's making burgers. I'm not even kidding. Like getting the cheese. I got the cheese and the lettuce. They got like so many more things. One of them had a bag of crackers, and then we put fried onions and pepper on the crackers, and it was beautiful. And one of them broke up crackers in his burger, and we all copied him. And then each of us ate 2 burgers, and by the end of it, me, this big Syrian fat fuck, is having a problem finishing the second burger because it's so damn greasy, and I ate nothing else all day. It's not even bad greasy, you know? It's not like, what do you call it? Fucking Burger King greasy, where it's just awful.
Just like
it's
oil. Like I don't even know how to describe it.
It's
like
more like
the oil from the meat. I know what you mean.
So big. And then we had like 3 or 4 types of cheeses, 3 types of cheeses on it. We had like blue cheese. It was good. It was good. Look, if you need a male bonding experience, grill some shit.
Just start grilling. Maybe that'll be the spinner of cursed dinners. There won't be a spinner at all. It'll just be us grilling in my backyard.
You know what? Why not both? Why don't we do both things? Why don't we like do the spinner of cursed dinners, but then as a palate cleanser, we just chill
grill
out. Yeah, we just grill. I applied for. I'm like getting residency soon. Like I'll be able to come visit you in California.
Yeah, dude. If you do, you can come to my family's house here. We can grill out in the yard.
And ironically, spinner of cursed dinners is happening. It's real.
God, I don't even know. Like, where are we gonna film that? We're gonna have to like film that in my garage. Like, we're gonna have to like go out to the desert.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to film it out in the middle of nowhere. It's gonna look like the background of an ISIS execution video.
We can probably rent a place, like rent an Airbnb or something.
We can get like a hotel room and do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't have to be so fucking hush hush.
Yeah,
I
you
know-
should just
I-
you should just get like a hotel. You don't want to like sleep on my floor. Then we can film
Oh,
it there.
I'm up for it, dude. No, I sleep on the floors. Have we not established this before? I sleep on hardwood floors. I don't care.
Yeah, that was what the little pizza box was planning on doing when he was gonna come over, but that got canceled.
Yeah,
He
why
was
did you
just gonna
cancel
sleep
that
on the
anyway?
floor. I think I don't know if he wanted us to say this. Yeah, I won't say it. He had something happen. He had to go home early.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You remember?
Oh,
It
no.
wasn't a bad thing. It was a very good thing. It was a very good thing for him. But yeah, he had to go back to base early because of it. So
Yeah, so rest in peace, little pizza box. You will be missed. Stay tuned for the Garbage Mice channel live stream coming soon. I'm just
oh
kidding.
no.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, hopefully the little pizza box does return from the trenches of Ukraine someday.
I hope he will. For some reason I have a feeling like that was the last time we ever heard of. We're gonna hear from him again.
Yeah.
That's a sad thought. Little pizza box, we miss you. We love you. Please don't go through with it. You have people who care for you.
All
Look,
right.
I know the people with funny hats. I'm gonna stop here. I'm getting one of us is getting arrested, and they're gonna bring up like 8 minutes worth of me saying the stupidest shit, and be like, "Now, can you explain this? What did you mean by this?"
Please,
And we're gonna be like,
Mr.
"No, we
Artillery,
can't."
can you tell us why you called the Walmart on episode 11 of your podcast and told them yeah, I can't repeat it.
Why not? Is there something you're ashamed of? You can't repeat.
Yeah.
What are you ashamed of exactly? No shame in what we did. We did the right thing, didn't we? I believe we did.
Yeah, I think
Believe-
terrorizing Walmart is probably the right thing to do.
It is 100% the right thing to do. What are you talking about, dude? It
Yeah.
is. It is the most ascended-based, red-pilled, hoorah based red-pilled thing we could have ever done is terrorize Walmart.
I
You know, with
remember
all those.
I knew a person who worked at a Walmart like back in high school, and they said that it was just like a weekly occurrence that teenagers would come in and they would just completely fuck up the Walmart. Like they would just go from aisle to aisle, and like they'd just take stuff and like throw it around. Like they'd go to the what would it even be
Kyle, I
called?
repeat. Code Kyle.
The ball pit, I guess it would be called, the place where they have all the bouncy balls and they're in that little like cage with the paracord wiring kind of, and they would climb up onto the top of that thing, which is like 10 feet off the ground, and then jump into it.
Why? What the fuck?
I don't even know.
Dude, American teenagers are fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Oh man.
You know,
Hmm.
We had some news articles we wanted to go through. You wanna guide us through
Yeah.
them first?
What did we even have?
Well, first of all, can we talk about Bud Light and the fucking influencer debacle?
Yeah.
So, for anybody who is completely fucking aware, because nobody who watches the Garbage Mice doesn't know about this shit, Bud Light made a collaboration with a TikTok influencer. This
With a tranny.
this transgender individual called Dylan. And Dylan, for anybody who does not know, is the absolute most obnoxious person I have
Yeah.
ever seen.
They have
And
to
not
be
even-
just, I'll just say real quick, they have to just be confusing people on purpose with like trying to be a girl and having the name Dylan.
No. It's not even confusing. No, listen. It's not about confusing.
Hmm.
They're just a fucking dick.
Oh,
I'm going
yeah.
to be honest. Dylan is the most obnoxious person I've ever seen. And I'm not saying this because, them fucking transgender. Like, yes, this, and the fact that Dylan's just so fucking annoying. Like, you can have both. And both are true in this case. Dylan is obnoxious, loud, fucking, even if he wasn't transgender, I would still fucking dislike Dylan.
Yeah, I would agree. There was a really gross video I saw from him a while ago where I don't know if this is like an apartment that he has or something, but he has either a room in his house or an apartment where he painted it pink and made it look like a little girl's room, and then put on a Lolita dress and made a video just pretending to be a little girl.
Oh dear.
And he's got like a 5 o'clock shadow throughout the whole thing. Dude didn't even shave before pretending to be a 6-year-old girl. You gotta get the cosplay right. Come on.
Yeah. Again, this is one of those things where he is genuinely disgusting. I'm just gonna say it. He's the kind of person you look at. I don't know what the problem with this dude is. Just looking at him angers me. Just looking at him is like, you know, those obnoxious TikTokers. It's this whole trend with TikTok. Honestly, is the most loud, obnoxious, and even ugly people get the loudest voices and have like the most attention. Like if you remember this fat woman yelling at the top of her lungs, trying to correct people. Dylan's the same kind of guy, but he's a guy. And again, to reiterate one last thing, Dylan looks ugly.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan looks like bad, looks disgusting. It looks,
especially like you're trying to be a woman and you don't pass at all. It's like, come on.
He's not trying to.
Yeah, he really isn't trying. I don't know if he is or isn't, because he went through with some type of plastic surgery recently.
See, you're making the mistake of thinking that it is about passing. You're these people.
Trans people don't care about passing. I already know that.
It's exactly the thing about. We have this fucked up idea in our head of what we should look like, and we're gonna do everything to complete that idea. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a good idea or not.
Yeah,
it's body dysmorphia. It's just straight.
That's the materialism that I often speak about. That comes with being trans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bud Light has decided that this random fucking nobody TikTok influencer who's genuinely annoying and obnoxious and nobody likes, not even his own people probably, they decided, you know what, who we're going to partner with as the voice of like Pride or whatever this year? This guy.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't back down about it. They were like, you know what, and Bud Light is like the fucking blue collar working class backwater redneck drink. I'm just gonna say it. It's the cheap fucking drink that people who can't afford jack shit get.
I always thought that was Coors. 'Cause Coors is a bit cheaper.
Yeah, but it's a competitor.
Yeah,
it's a competitor in that market. It's a competitor in that market, and Bud Light decided our mostly fucking redneck consumer base is gonna have to see this ugly man's face on every single thing, every single one of our cans and bottles. Surprisingly, and I mean shockingly, people didn't take very well to that. I don't know why. Can you explain why people didn't take very well to that?
Because they're all bigots. You know, every white man a bigot. That's what I hear all day, every day from the news, and it must be correct.
Yeah, exactly. And those bigots have caused a $7 billion market cap loss since the last time I checked for Bud Light.
Yeah.
7 billion. Billion.
I guess that's what they deserve.
I feel like they're still working off the subsidies they got from the WEF.
Yeah, they're getting money from the government and all that, but yeah, whatever. I don't know if there's much more to say about that.
Inclusivity quota. Yeah. Oh, there is a lot more to say about that. Are you kidding me?
Oh, what do you got? What do you got for us? Hit me with the best you got.
I mean, Dylan's the same kind of person, in my honest view, who would like to do, I don't know, things to children. Grooming. Groomers everywhere. Remember Chris from Mr.
Yeah.
Beast? You shared something in our ideas channel. Want to elaborate on it?
Oh yeah, here. I guess I can put that up on the screen. But if you
Please
don't,
describe it.
yeah, if you don't want to look at it, it is a picture of Chris's child wearing high heels. Where he's a boy and he's wearing like stripper heels that are like all glittery. And Chris is saying that Tucker chose to slay this morning. Quote from him. Oh my god. It's painful to look at that picture.
I am disappointed.
To say the least, yeah.
Sorry, not disappointed. No. There is no word in the English language sufficient enough to describe the cocktail of feelings I have at this.
Yeah.
There's no that. Kids are gonna be kids, right? Let's just throw this out the window. Kids are gonna do stupid fucking shit. Kids are gonna put on their mother's heels, are gonna fucking put on a Batman cape in their underwear, and they're gonna do the dumbest shit. You know what you shouldn't do to kids? You shouldn't go like, "Wow, you chose to put this on. That's so wonderful.
You're slaying.
You're slaying. Oh my god. Take photos. I want to show this to everybody on the internet." Don't encourage this. And again, people will come to say, "Oh, what's wrong with it? What's fucking wrong with it?" Red Sante, please explain what's wrong with it. I know you wanted to say this for a very long time. Encouraging children to partake in all of this in schools, on TV, in their children's programming, through government subsidies, through government programs, through drag queens in the schools, and through massive online influencers divorcing their wife to go get fucked by one of their coworkers and then start taking hormones to chase their degenerate lifestyle, and then share that with their own little child, saying, "I only did it so that my child would see this."
Oh man, yeah, no, that's really messed up to try to involve your kid in your life like that when they're nowhere near mature enough to handle that. And it's also just something that I think is incompatible with a first world country and the culture that a first world country should have. Like, you should not be subjecting kids to anything even remotely close to this. Like, it's completely inappropriate. The way that I kind of view Chris, like the perspective that I have on him after thinking about it for the past week, is that first of all, he doesn't understand how to be an entertainer. Like, this isn't something that anyone who is actually conscious of their role as a performer and as an entertainer would ever do. Being a comedian and that type of thing is a very selfless position. It's a very selfless job. Nothing about your job is about your ego and your self-appearance and your narcissism. It's about entertaining your audience, and your appearance absolutely does matter, and your mental health absolutely does matter to your job, and you're not taking your job seriously.
Can I cut you up here for a second? I need to mention this. Have you seen the latest stream of
I was going to bring that up. That was awful.
Go ahead.
Like, I saw little clips of it that people were sharing. That was horrendous. He completely tanked the stream. He's not taking his job as the right-hand man of the biggest YouTuber, the biggest channel on all of YouTube. He's not taking his role seriously at all, and I think that Jimmy should fire him. I don't think that he has a place being on camera if he isn't going to take into consideration the audience that he's being paid probably a lot of money to entertain.
Yeah. When it comes to this whole fucking shtick, this whole... How do I even describe it? How do you begin to describe this? How do you begin to explain what Chris is doing?
I think he's just going crazy. I think he's having some type of breakdown. Like, I think that what he's experiencing is similar to what a lot of people who win the lottery experience, where they just kind of lose it. They get lost in in that materialistic kind of lifestyle, and this is just yet another purchase for him. This is something that he's chasing with his money. He wants something, so he's going to go for it, and fuck all else, fuck all the consequences. He's just going to go for it.
Maybe you're right. Shit.
And that's one of the reasons I never want to be a celebrity. I never want to be rich and famous, because that's the lie that they sell you. That's the lie that the lottery sells you, is that you'll be better off if you win. You won't. You'll probably be worse off if you win. Like, even very, very responsible lottery winners and celebrities often ruin their lives in ways that most people who don't end up winning millions of dollars or getting famous and getting these huge $10 million contracts with advertisers. A lot of those people will never have the opportunity to mess up their lives permanently in the way that a lot of these celebrities, and I'm sure you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. Maybe it is a lie, but I feel like there's more to this. I feel like there's an idea that we're missing here. I feel like I've always said this. This feels completely unnatural. This is all the things that nobody wants simultaneously being pushed towards us, as if that's what everybody wants and needs and has been begging for. I don't see that. I don't see people doing that. Instead what I see? I see an out-of-touch elite trying to normalize, lack of a better word, just straight up pedophilia.
Yeah.
That's, to me, everything seems to be going towards not only that goal, but everything else. I don't know if it's only pedophilia or if pedophilia is incidentally what's being promoted, but there's this thing in the UK. Have you heard about it? This new law that anything you do under 25 should not be treated. You should not be treated as a legal adult. And
the penalties are a lot less harsh for people who commit crimes when they're under the age of 25.
Yeah. Recently, there has been tried a case where this 25-year-old man, when he was 17, took a 13-year-old girl in a park and proceeded to rape her.
Yeah, several times.
Yeah. And he didn't even get prison time.
Yeah, it was 270 days community service for multiple counts of rape. Welcome to the UK.
Welcome to the modern world, dude.
I think it was specifically Scotland that it happened in, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Eyes Wide Shut by...
No.
What was the director's name? See, the funny thing is, he died right before the premiere of Eyes Wide Shut. Eyes Wide Shut. Stanley Kubrick. Of course, it's Kubrick. Now, Kubrick is one of our funny-hatted friends. I'm saying this out of transparency. But Eyes Wide Shut talks about this doctor who is mingling with the high society.
Yeah.
But one of the most striking things in this whole movie, he comes across this ball, this party, this almost cult-like thing. Everybody is masked, and all the women are naked. They are saying prayers in reverse. They are saying Catholic Latin prayers in reverse. Yeah, they're Catholic. Okay, I'm sorry, but it's just how the movie goes. But they're saying those Gregorian chants in backwards, and they have all this occult imagery where the end goal of it seems to be, undressing these women and doing much more awful things. And the movie even hints towards pedophilia in some of its scenes outside of the ball, but outside of the cult ritual, but where this man who helps him get into the cult is prostituting his daughter, basically. His, young daughter. And all these elite high society are all masked, and they're doing this in a Rothschild mansion. And For discovering this, they almost kill him. But instead of him, they kill one of the prostitutes he had helped saved, who just vouched for him and said, "I will take the punishment." It's this really fucked up movie,
Yeah, sounds like it.
but I think it gives us a little glimpse into things that they don't want us to find out about. Things maybe like a bunch of rich elite people who all meet together in this secret place, maybe on an island, maybe. And
Maybe
they
in a
perform-
certain grove in California.
Yeah. And maybe they then proceed to do awful things to minors and other, women and men. And they want that. Like, you remember last couple of episodes,
Yeah,
even what you
well,
said about pedophilia.
I'll say real quick that I think that I would agree with your little theory there, because humanity has undeniably changed. Like the average person in society has undeniably changed pretty drastically. Like the personality of the average man and the average woman has been completely altered from what it used to be. And people are now trying to say that that's just nature. Like that's just something that is naturally occurring. Trans people are naturally occurring, gay people are naturally occurring. And I just don't, I think that it would be a huge coincidence to say that, at the same time that professors and who else documented and documented their observations that there was a small group of people who were starting to form a specific group of people. C.S. Lewis called them the technocratic elites, or the European technocratic elites. Nowadays, we just call them Jews.
Nice. I like the subtlety there. You just drop the word like it's nothing.
Yeah, but at the same time that group started in Europe and then slowly spread throughout the rest of the world, that just directly, it's like a 1-to-1 correlation between the beginning of that and a dramatic increase in people just being fucked up, like people just being completely screwed up. Like it feels like more and more we're moving into the world depicted in Idiocracy. It's like every single day we just get closer and closer to that.
See, I'll cut you off right there. Idiocracy made a fatal flaw. You know what that flaw is?
What?
It assumed that this is sustainable. That through the Idiocracy, the entire world will become docile. See, I'm going to take you back to the Middle Eastern history right here. Again, all I know is the Middle Eastern history. Or, sorry, Eastern history. Euro, Levant, Mediterranean history. Ibn Battuta, a very famous Arab historian, said that he notices a pattern in history from the days of Uruk. All the civilization literally the beginning of history, literally the tipping point between history and prehistory. From then, you see this tribe of people who settle down, take up farming, create a culture, and become strong, conquer neighboring countries, become complacent, become weak. And then this smaller tribe comes over, completely destroys them in battle, settles in, becomes the new kingdom, and then, within a couple of generations, becomes docile, becomes weak again after adopting the culture of the people they had just conquered. And they get conquered again by the next tribe. Over and over and over again. You got the Babylonians, you got the Assyrians, you got the Judeans. They all get conquered by one another. Then you got the Greeks, this small tribe, going against the Persian Empire by Alexander the Great. They completely conquer it, but then the next rulers are, decadent and complacent, and they get conquered by Egypt, I think. And the Ptolemaic Empire continued. So in Egypt they maintained, but then they get conquered by Rome. Same way as the Phoenicians were once powerful, sea traders that got complacent, that got weak, that decided not to do any fighting themselves and hired mercenaries, and so they got conquered by the Romans. The only reason the Romans lasted for so long is their hyper-militarism. But then they collapse, and with them collapses the knowledge of centuries. Then you can even say it in In the modern age, Byzantine, medieval period, I mean, you can see it in these giant empires, and maybe this helps visualize it to my North American friends. What was the biggest empire in North America again? Before the Aztecs, or was it the Incas?
You're asking the wrong person. I don't know.
Basically, again, this massive tribe, these 300 or so Spanish people come. They get so offended by the human sacrifices that everybody else allies with them and they take them over. This stupidity in idiocracy and in the way modern governments are going is in thinking that they have no enemies. That they have, through nuclear bombs, completely destroyed the threat of a smaller tribe coming and annihilating them, and then putting themselves in power. That's the cyclical nature. Before the Islamic conquest of the Levant, it was the Eastern Byzantine Empire that was weakened because they were fighting the Western Empire instead of focusing on this emergent threat in the south. And so because they were so, busy with their infighting and fucking pissing contest, they forgot that there's a genuine threat in the south. And by the time they figured it out, it was too late and they were too powerful. Our people were too powerful, but then our people got weak, our people got complacent, and then the Turks came, and then you got the Ottomans, and the Ottomans got too weak, and then this is just the cycle of history. And somehow they think they have broken it. But it's not going to happen. Idiocracy is not going to happen. There's going to be an uprising. There's going to be this small tribe, this nation of hyper-militaristic, aggressive people that are going to fight and tear down the nation, either from the inside or out. It doesn't matter. It could be all the immigrants coming in from Mexico. It could be all the Middle Eastern people carving their own little nation by one of the states. But this is not sustainable. What they're doing right now is not sustainable. What's happening? All this degeneracy, all this complete destruction of what makes a nation strong, what makes a person strong, what is a drive for life to a person, how a child should be raised, all this is not going to go unpunished. And it will be punished by history. And they will be remembered as not only the losing side, but the evil losing side for fucking once. And I'm fine with that. Shit.
Yeah. I mean, maybe a tipping point for a lot of people would be too much immigration, because a lot of the cultures outside of the United States are just not compatible with the culture of the United States. Like,
that's racist, though.
A lot of the
That's
stuff
racist.
that goes on in other countries is just not acceptable here.
Yeah. Let's move on. Why have we been talking for the majority of this comedy podcast about raping children? I feel like that's not a
That's
very
kind of funny.
topic.
You don't laugh every time you hear about that?
No.
No, okay.
I feel like Alex Jones day in and day out. It's because I can't Man, let's just make a funny topic. You ever heard of that hamster who spun around in a wheel? That was funny.
The what?
There was a hamster that had a wheel that he'd spin in, and he spun around in it, and it was funny. And he's a cute hamster, and that's all there is to it. That's all, folks.
Yeah, that's all, folks.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It should be like a GARBAGEMICE children's cartoon. That would be a lot more jovial, a lot happier.
And ironically, would be better than half the shit on TV nowadays. All right. I got a topic. I got an idea, okay?
All right.
Imagine being like a priest in a church that does confessions, like a Catholic or Orthodox or whatever priest. Imagine the kind of people you get through. I know some priests like to go to prison and hear prisoners' confessions, but even in like your regular, everyday, regular appearing parish, I'm imagining like a priest sitting behind the veil, like, okay, please, in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, what are your sins? It's like, forgive me, Father, for I have committed heinous acts during the war on Afghanistan. There was this village full of children. and I had to kill every single last one of them. And then my chain of command told me to bomb this hospital. But it turns out it was also a children's hospital. I have killed 5,000 people in Afghanistan, and everybody who I've killed was a child. And the priest is like, well, things are really tough, with fog of war and whatnot. He has to give this spiritual direction to this person with like this massive fucking PTSD, and to make sure, no, you're absolved, go do like 5 Hail Marys, okay, please. And then the next person comes during like the same 5 minutes. The next person comes, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. My last confession was 2 days ago. Here are my sins. Father, I have committed tax fraud. I have lied on my tax returns to gain more money from the government. I have, in fact, made so much money from lying on my taxes. And for these sins, I am sorry. Or like this person saying like, Father, I have cheated, I have cheated on my wife with my brother's wife, and now she's pregnant and they don't know. And then the next person's like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I have also committed tax fraud, same as that other guy. I was actually his accountant. We conspired on tax fraud together. Shit like that. I don't know what it's like being a priest, dude, but I'd imagine that's a huge fucking part of it.
Please.
Like, I want to ask priests, what's the weirdest fucking confession you've gotten? Without breaking the seal of confession, of course. I don't need to know who said it. Just like, what are some weird confessions?
Oh yeah, they've probably gotten like something crazy up there.
Oh, I definitely know they've gotten like awful things from awful people, or like awful repentant people. But I'm thinking like, why do I just forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I was at Domino's Pizza, and I took more sauce than I should have. I stole the sauce. Then I left without paying for them. My total would have come to $2.30. And for these sins, I am sorry. Like, what the fuck is the weirdest confession?
They should make the Pizza Hut confess for charging that much for sauce. That is egregious. Yeah,
there was also
there's probably like a funny YouTube video that someone's done where they did like a prank on on a priest, where they just like went up and confessed crazy things. That probably exists.
It's probably not fun though. Like, I wouldn't like somebody to go to troll priests, because priests really have to absolve people of their actual sin. Imagine going up to a priest like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I went to this confessional with the purpose of making a YouTube prank video, and I was going to, and I'm still recording it. I have turned off the recording, but now that I'm in here with you, I feel like this is a bit of a mistake. No, what I'm thinking is, what's the most crazy thing that a regular priest has had to hear? Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I have cheated on my diet.
Yeah, just like some small town priest in the middle of nowhere where no one ever does anything.
No, it's not that no one ever does it. Like some priest in the big city where regularly he has to hear some awful sins about people who are truly repentant about it. Some real like mistakes, some real shame, some real pain, and then some dudes like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. When I really haven't sinned. I'm just here to talk, dude. How's it going? Shit like that. I don't know. One other thing I wanted to talk about is, Ruth Snyder.
I don't know who that is. No.
She was a woman executed by the electric chair. And she holds the honor of being the first ever person photographed while being electrocuted to death, sadly. Some journalists actually just put a camera in his socks Like his sock was actually just a camera, and he took
Yeah.
the photo of her. And what do you think the headlines were for her photo?
A shocking picture of a woman electrocuted.
This was like the 1930s. The papers ran with the picture as the front cover of the newspaper, and the headline just read "dead." Just read "dead!" exclamation point, all caps.
It's like a Garbage Mice title and thumbnail right there.
Indeed, it was, dude. It showed a woman being electrocuted to death. It's a grisly photo. It's unironically fucking grisly. Ruth Snyder. I'm just gonna show you the photo. Our audience can go look this up if they were fucking
You can
interested.
go do your own research if you want.
Yeah. I don't think anybody wants to see. They're the Garbage Mice. Who fucking knows? Some of them might want to see that her. This is the actual real life photo, and it's fucking grisly, dude. Check the IDS channel.
Oh man, that's yeah. That looks like a picture taken in 1930.
It's the fact that her body
like
is so shaky. I don't know. This photo is disturbing to me.
Yeah, because her face is all dark. Like that looks
her face is like covered with like so much shit.
Oh man!
But the fact that the headline is just dead,
dead.
Hey, what happened to Ruth Snyder? Dead.
Cause of death. Dead.
Death. Yes. Oh man. I feel like people haven't really changed that much since then. But the fact
people
that it was
are still doing a little trolling every once in a while.
Yeah, the fact that this was like front news is morbidly fascinating to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you.
Do you get me though? I feel like a lot of people don't get me, you know? I feel like I don't put myself out there enough. What am I supposed to do about that?
Yeah, you could put yourself out there more by starting a podcast.
That's a good idea.
Something a lot of people do.
I haven't thought about that really.
Yeah.
What do you think I should call it? Or like model it after?
You should call it the probably the Rubbish Raccoons.
Don't even fucking don't get me started. Fucking hell. But yeah. Think we should call it a show?
Yeah, we could just call it here. That was a very fun hard drug episode. I've even got a little bit left on this massive pile of cocaine. It took me a big chunk of my crypto wallet to acquire this just for this episode.
Dude, I already feel hungover. Fuck me.
So yeah, I'm gonna finish enjoying my mountain here.
Do you happen to have counterfeit money I can borrow from you?
I've got a 20. Is that gonna work?
Nice. Yeah, it works. It works.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get that right to you, and you can go get me some cigarettes from the store. Is that gonna work? That's how you can pay me back.
Thing. I'm up for it, man.
All right. Well, stay tuned in the next episode of Garbage Mice. You can find out what happens to artillery.
Dear God.
All right. Goodbye.
Peace.